Ben simply dipped his hand into the invisible fluorescent water and drew a smiley face on the table. To his surprise, when he shone a UV light on it, the hidden smiley face instantly became clearly visible. Realizing this method could work, Ben Gates made a bold decision right then and there. He placed $1 million ancient coin into the fluorescent water and anonymously mailed it to the local museum curator. When the curator saw this never-before-seen ancient coin, she immediately began fiddling with it. Captivated, little did he know, from the moment she touched the ancient coin, she had already fallen into the trap Ben had set. Soon after, Ben's teammates arrived at the museum with a camera, ostensibly filming the museum's artifacts, but actually using a laser pointer to illuminate the heat sensor beneath the display case. The reason they did this was to make the Declaration of Independence stored in that case be transported back to the underground vault by the fully automated anti-theft system. Sure enough, as soon as the curator received the alarm from the display case, he immediately went to the underground vault to check on the Declaration of Independence. However, what the curator didn't know was that when she entered the password, the fluorescent powder on her hands had completely stuck to the keyboard. After the curator walked into the vault as if nothing had happened, the teammates quickly snuck into the museum's control room, used a cutting saw to dismantle the pipeline, found the surveillance camera line, hacked it with a computer, and then set all the museum's surveillance to a still state. Once everything was ready, it was Ben's turn to take action. He first disguised himself as a water and electricity maintenance worker and slipped into the museum under the pretext of repairs. However, after entering the museum, he immediately ducked into the bathroom, took off the maintenance worker's clothes, and transformed into a distinguished guest attending today's gala. After getting everything in order, Ben calmly walked towards the gala venue. Upon seeing the curator, Ben immediately went up to chat with her, deliberately making the curator let her guard down around him. Then, when someone else shook hands with the curator, he casually took the champagne glass from the curator's hand and calmly exchanged it with his own glass. Just like that, a champagne glass with the curator's fingerprints was obtained by Ben. Ben then took out a sealed bag, and when no one was around, he quietly slipped into the bathroom, dripped the fingerprint extraction solution onto medical cotton, and finally put it in the sealed bag together with the champagne glass. Soon, the curator's fingerprints became clearly visible. Seeing that the critical moment had arrived, Ben immediately put on a thumb glove and extracted the curator's fingerprints left on the champagne glass. The reason Ben wanted to extract the curator's fingerprints was to use them to open the elevator door leading to the vault. Because time was tight, he had to act immediately. Fortunately, as Ben pressed the fingerprint on the elevator keypad, the elevator door was successfully opened by him. When Ben reached the floor of the underground vault, he immediately took out the UV light to see clearly the letters the curator had pressed on the keyboard. As he reported all the letters to his hacker teammate, the teammate successfully deciphered the correct sequence of the vault password in just a few seconds. As Ben entered the password on the keyboard, the vault's massive anti-theft door, weighing dozens of tons, was finally opened. He thought everything was going according to plan, but just as Ben was about to steal the Declaration of Independence from the vault, the teammate watching the surveillance suddenly lost signal. This instantly made Ben a little at a loss. Realizing it was not wise to stay there for long, he simply grabbed the frame of the Declaration of Independence, ready to make a quick getaway. Who knew that as soon as he walked to the corridor, he suddenly encountered another group of thieves. Turns out they also had their eyes on this Declaration of Independence. Because the other party outnumbered him, Ben could only temporarily hide in the elevator, quickly dismantle the frame of the Declaration, and hurriedly hide the document on his body. However, just as Ben was panicking and wanting to leave the museum, the curator had already noticed the suspicious-looking Ben. But the curator did not step forward to stop him, because she also wanted to know if there really was a treasure map behind the Declaration of Independence as the legend said. Later, Ben immediately took the curator back to his place, took out a cotton swab, and tested the back of the Declaration of Independence, planning to completely uncover the secret of the treasure map purportedly hidden behind it.